I'll stitch it, I'll knit it, and patch it back together. What else can I do? I can cut myself off, put distance between us, and I'll still be able to smile. I will be able to smile, but if I had conveyed that, we wouldn't have been able to be together. If we had made this world that reflects our existence of feelings for each other secure, could we stay like this, just like this, maybe forever? My view is obstructed by faint expectations, so I'll plug my ears and make a vague face of fake indifference. If we could stay connected just like this, would it hurt, or would I want to stay forever?
Gender dysphoria is something that almost every transgender person will experience. Not being accepted or seen as the person you are on the inside can be very mentally exhausting and challenging. You don't want to hide. You want to change. You want to transition, but sometimes you can't. You fear that the people closest to you won't accept you, or maybe they don't accept your kind already. Could be political, religious, or just self-belief reasons. It could be anything. Hell, they could accept all queer people. But as soon as you come out to be queer, no, that can't be right. You're probably just confused. You'll grow out of it. It's just a phase. And when it all adds up, when the clock turns to 25, when the final bell chimes, you lived a life where you couldn't be you.
みんないつも僕たちの曲を聴いてくれてありがとう。主に動画担当をしている25時ナイトコードでアミヤだよ。
Mizuki Akiyama is a second-year student at Kamiyama High School. They are the visual animator of the underground music band Night Court at 25 o'clock, going by the alias Amiya. Throughout the course of this video, I will try to use exclusively they/them pronouns for Mizuki. As of writing this introduction, the 5th focus event for Mizuki has not been dropped in-game yet, so I don't know anything about that in particular. And before we start, I just want to say I'm very sorry for the long-ass intro. I just want this video to be very cool. Before we continue, it's crucial to recognize the distinction between cross-dressing and transgender identity. Although wearing clothing associated with a different gender is known as cross-dressing, this does not always indicate a different gender identification. Trans people feel that their gender identity does not match the sex they were assigned at birth. In Mizuki's case, their narrative focuses on who they are rather than what they do. Within the Project Sakai fandom, Mizuki's gender identity has caused a great deal of controversy. Since elementary school, Mizuki has been viewed as an outsider due to their honest demeanor and sense of style. Their older sister had sewn them cute clothing, which they wore, and they got praise from their peers as well as criticism. In an attempt to avoid ridicule, they asked their older sister Yuki if they should stop wearing cute things. Yuki urged Mizuki to follow their passions and enjoy life, but she also warned them that the constant criticism they may get would be very hurtful. The key themes of Mizuki's story are their internal conflicts and acceptance of who they are in the face of rejection and abuse because they like pretty or feminine things. This thread by user CryCryAllNight on Twitter highlights Mizuki's experience very well. Quote, "An important aspect of Mizuki's representation is their gender ambiguity. During the game's 3rd anniversary, the official website was updated, and while all the other characters were labeled as female or male, Mizuki was the only one assigned a question mark, indicating that their gender identity is intentionally ambiguous. This suggests that the narrative is designed to invite reflection on their identity rather than confine them to a fixed category, adding a layer of depth to their character. Flashbacks in Mizuki's narrative play a crucial role in their character development. Moments from their childhood are shown where they question their preferences and feel rejected because of them, highlighting their internal conflict. Through these experiences, the game addresses themes of identity and acceptance, emphasizing the importance of surrounding oneself with people who support and accept their differences. Mizuki navigates their self-acceptance through the narrative, which might reflect their struggle with gender dysphoria or their fear that others, like Enna, will not accept who they are. This internal conflict mirrors the experiences of many young people facing similar issues. Through their flashbacks and development, the game allows players to connect with their feelings of insecurity and search for identity, resonating deeply with those who feel different." End quote. Feel like this explains Mizuki's representation very well. Over the course of decades, the transgender community has never had great representation in characters. There has been characters who are transgender, yes, but it's nothing deeper than that. They are either just transgender or just transgender. Their entire personality is about their gender, or it's said once and never elaborated on again. And while you could argue that Mizuki's entire personality is about their gender, it's not that their personality is, it's that their story is. People who aren't transgender can still resonate with Mizuki's story. For example, myself. I am neurodivergent. While it isn't exactly the same as being transgender, when I got diagnosed with ADHD, I experienced a lot of internal conflict and I struggled with the acceptance. People in my school and community would always use autistic as an insult. When I told my friends that I was autistic, they would just play it off like I was joking, or leave me entirely. And Mizuki experiences this too, but with their gender identity. October 12th, 2024, Mizuki's 5th focused event released in the game in Project Sakai's Japan server. There is a translation, but it's not very good, so I'll try my best to give a summary here. But before we do that, let's introduce the plot of Project Sakai for people who are new. Project Sakai is an isekai Vocaloid game where 5 bands get their own world called Sakais and have different versions of the 6 virtual singers. Miku, Len, Rin, Kaito, Meiko, Luca, you know, those ones. They can enter and exit these Sakais at any time, but I don't think the virtual singers can. Only through phone screens can they talk outside of the Sakai. In the band Night Court at 25 AM, there are 4 members alongside their virtual singers: Mafuyu, Kanade, Enna, and of course, Mizuki. These Sakais are born through feelings of the band members. Night Court at 25 AM Sakai was born through the feelings of Kanade. She wanted to help Mafuyu, as she was in a very dark moment at the time. Night Court at 25 AM is probably the most dark and depressing story in the entire game. So, yeah. Mizuki also has a childhood friend from another theater-inspired band, Rui. He knows about Mizuki's secret, as Mizuki has not told anyone in Night Court that they are transgender. And with that, let's begin the story. Mafuyu has an emotionally abusive mother and a kind of deadbeat father. Her mother was oblivious to the consequences of her actions, and Mafuyu was damaged severely emotionally and physically. She decided to confront her mother with Kanade's help, and it went sort of successfully. Mizuki was motivated by Mafuyu's courage to stand up to her parents. They want to tell the group about their secret, starting with Enna, their closest friend. Night Court's Kaito notices something is off and decides to confront Mizuki about it, but he only does this because he wants Mafuyu to move forward. Meiko chases after him and they get into an argument. but ultimately they comfort Mizuki in a way. The school festival is coming up, so Night Court decides to go together. Before everyone else arrives, Rui comforts Mizuki and encourages them to tell everyone their secret. They all meet. Mizuki asks Enna if they can talk after the festival ends, so the festival ends, and Mizuki tells Kanade and Matthew that they have something to tell the two of them as well, but later. Enna and Mizuki go to the rooftop of the school. Before seeing Mizuki, Enna meets 3 of Mizuki's classmates on the roof.
マジで疲れたな。だな。今日打ち上げあるっぽいけど、行くか悩むわ。わかる。ちょっとだるいよな。
あれって、千日の生徒？どうしよう。人がいるなら場所変えた方がいいかも。
そういや、さっき廊下走ってったのって秋山だよな。ああ、みたいだな。やっぱあいつって何もなきゃ普通に可愛いよな。
水木の話してる？もう確かに顔はいいよね、実際。
おい、そういうのやめろよ。いや、だってそうじゃね？あそこに誰か。あ、君、今日秋山と回ってた子じゃない？
やば、話しかけられちゃった。ああ、どうも。まあ、一応そうですけど。
ほら、やっぱそうだ。おい、急に絡むなって。びっくりさせるだろ。文化祭の時くらいいいだろ。ねえ君、あんま見たことない顔だけど、秋山とは仲いいの？
まあ、それなりに付き合いは長いけど。
へえ、そうなんだ。あ、じゃあ、君も男だったりする感じ？
は？
おい、やめろって。なんだよ、冗談だろ。ごめんね。
何それ。冗談って、全然笑えないんだけど。
いや、だから悪かったって。君は普通に女の子だって思って。
どういう意味？
え？
私は普通にって。
おい、もしかしてこの子、マジで知らな。だからやめろって言っただろ。でも、長い付き合いって言うなら、知ってるって思うだろ、普通。あいつだって別に隠してねえじゃん。
え？冗談じゃない。じゃあ。じゃあ。話したいことって。
あ
は。追いつけない。渡り廊下から行けば先回りできるかも。でも捕まえても、なんて言ったら。 ごめんね。もっと早く話さなきゃいけなかったんだ。けど、水木は。びっくりしたよね。でも、それは。わかってる。さっきエナは、ただびっくりしただけで、それ以外の気持ちは全然ないんだってわかってる。本当は全部わかってるんだ。水木。でも、どうしてもダメなんだ。エナはすごく優しいから、きっと明日からも何もなかったみたいに話してくれる。奏も真冬もきっとそうだったんだっていうだけで、当たり前みたいに、いつもみたいに作業して、次の日もみんなはずっと変わらないって、そう思わせてくれるんだって。それはただのみんなの優しさで、本当は温かくて、きっとすごくいいもので、でも僕はその優しさがみんなの中に生まれちゃうことがどうしようもなく嫌なんだ。そんなこと。ごめん。ずっと話せなくて。ごめん。向き合えなくて。ごめん。水木！私はなんで。自業自得だな。逃げ続けて。いっそ誰か話してくれって思ってたんだから。願い通りになったじゃないか。ああ、消えたいな。
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell for more videos just like this, and tune into the— Did somebody say bell? If you didn't gather what happened there or skipped through it, 3 of Mizuki's classmates added that they're transgender to Enna. Mizuki comes up to the rooftop and sees the look on Enna's face. It's something of confusion, realization. It's different from what she usually looks like. She looks disgusted from Mizuki's point of view. It's heavily implied that after the story ends, Mizuki runs away and leaves Night Court. The story is left on a cliffhanger, of course, so we can't really fully understand what's going to happen, but lots of people have theories. This cliffhanger leaves so many open ends, and it may seem bad, but it's kind of a good thing, as it leaves the fandom on edge and waiting for more. The build-up for this moment was extraordinary. Unlike Mafio's story, Mizuki was always happy and never seemed like anything was wrong other than their secret. Mafio's emotions were shown right from the start, while Mizuki was hiding, which could be a very intentional build-up to make a moment like this so much more powerful. Being outed instead of coming out directly could be a transgender person's biggest fear. Not having the chance to tell your family or friends yourself can cause so many problems. You'll have no idea what they'll think of you, or what they could do, the rumors they could spread, or the ideas they could get in their head. It would just seem like a much better opportunity to tell them yourself, right? Imagine you're a teenager and your parents find out you have a relationship. You'd rather tell them directly instead of finding out, right? You don't know if they'll accept your partner. They could hate them. They could hate them so much that you have to stop being with them. This is sort of like that. Mizuki was outed to Enna, and now there are so many possibilities that could happen. Enna could hate them, or think of them very poorly, think that they're weird, and Mizuki doesn't want to confront Enna because they're afraid of how Enna may feel. They want to hide, they want to run, they never want to be seen again, and this is how many people feel with their identity as well. But what if I told you the conclusion was right in front of us the entire time? Mizuki has always been portrayed as the one most distant from the rest of Night Court. Colofest 2023. The rest of Night Court are sitting on a table in plush form all together, while Mizuki is holding the plush form of themselves away from the rest of Night Court. Enna Focus 3. Mizuki and Mafio are the only ones without statues in their trading cards. Mizu-focus 3. Everyone else in Night Court is seen doing their part in the music group. Enna is drawing, Kanade is composing, Mafio is writing lyrics. However, Mizuki is the only one seen not doing what they do in the group, edit music videos. They're holding a ribbon instead. You can see their editing program in the background, but they're not actively doing it. Ribbons have always been associated with Mizuki in events. Like how Mafio is always associated with apples, Mizuki's ribbon could represent their secret. Ribbons are always shown around Mizuki when their secret is at its height of being exposed, or when they're in a very bad state. We see this in Mizu 1, where they feel the most distant from Night Court while on a trip with a group. We also see this in Mizu 5, where in Mizuki's card, they're surrounded by ribbons and mannequins and a broken mirror. Speaking of this card, let's analyze it a little. This mirror is the mirror from Mizuki's room. They used to cover it up because they didn't want to look at themselves. Then they uncovered it, and now it's completely broken. Mizuki is in a very limp and unconscious looking pose. This could signify hanging themselves. The suicide idea does come into play more with their face mask. Some people will cover their face before hanging themselves so people don't see their dead face. The mannequins surrounding Mizuki have ribbons and flowers stuffed inside them. Most of the mannequins have their forms ripped off as well, except for 3. These 3 could represent the rest of Night Court. Mizuki is wearing a dress for the first time in all their focus events. You might say, what about Mizu 1 though? Wrong! It was a pair of shorts the entire time. What? And it's not even just the cards either, it's the songs too. In Ghost Flower, or Baki no Hana, the Mizu 5 event song, Mizuki doesn't sing along with any of Night Court. They only sing solo or with Kaito. In ID Smile, Mizuki sings solo in the first verse, and in the bridge they only sing with Meiko. Mizuki Akiyama is the best representation of a transgender character any piece of media has had in years. From a young age, Mizuki always felt they were in the wrong body. They felt more resonated with feminine things, always having admiration for cute clothes, pink stuff, and girly items. Even with their secret, they feel so enclosed and isolated because they are transgender. The entire time, it is hinted at that Mizuki's secret is that they're trans, but it is never outwardly said until now. Anybody who is transgender can resonate with Mizuki's story. One of my mutuals, Kuni, is a trans man. He resonates with Mizuki's story deeply. Quote, I've had groups with cis men in them and they didn't know I was trans. I was horrified whenever they get suspicious, and Mizuki goes through the same thing because they're worried Night Court will treat them differently. Mizuki also says they want to disappear after getting outed, and I felt something similar many times. Someone I know would out me to my relatives and sometimes my friends as well, unknowingly. But in my case, I didn't really care because I was openly trans. For Mizuki, they might feel the same way, but their point is that they pass as a girl very well. They feel like they'd get left out in a girl group because they're not a real girl, and my heart breaks for them. I've talked to other trans men as well, and they say this event broke them. Muzu 5 really hit close to home, especially with the transphobic bullying and them wanting to disappear after Enna found out Mizuki's secret. I've been through the same thing, and I've never seen any representation like that in any other media. Syrafan7 on Twitter quote retweeted a post saying, quote, "Can confirm, as a crossdresser in real life, I would not react this way if someone told someone else that I'm a guy. I don't care. I embrace being a guy. Mizuki does not because they aren't a guy. Nobody would react this way to someone calling them a boy if they wanted to be a boy. There's no way in any world Mizuki is just a crossdresser because crossdressers will embrace their assigned gender. Mizuki wants to forget their assigned gender. That isn't who they are, and what they are is transfeminine." Mizuki's representation is so good because Colorful Palette and Sega made their stories so relatable to many transgender people. The way Mizuki's panic attacks are written and the portrayal of their mental spiral because they are in hiding is written so well compared to any other transgender character in media. Let's take Bridget from Guilty Gear for example. Her story was not that good because of how she found out she was transgender. Bridget was born a male and raised as a girl by her parents. She was raised as a girl because she was a twin to her brother, and her village believed that a pair of identical twins was bad luck. So many people will interpret this as if she was forced into becoming transgender, even if she realizes she resonates with that identity more than her male identity. You cannot become transgender, you were born transgender, and Guilty Gear portrays this message in the completely wrong way. In my opinion, she may be one of the most popular transgender characters, but she's the worst regarding representation. I would never hate Bridget, by the way. Please don't come after me, Bridget defenders. In conclusion, Mizuki Akiyama stands out as a great example of transgender representation, not only for their genuine and real representation, but also for the wider impact they can have on inclusivity. Project Sakai shows an amazing understanding of what it's like to be transgender. Mizuki's story lets players relate to them, and their story ultimately raises the bar for transgender representation in video games and other media. I think it's important for future medias who want to include transgender characters to take inspiration from Mizuki's story, as such great writing deserves to be spread and heard, especially when it's representing something so misrepresented such as transgender identity.